Hello and welcome to us. I will be hosting Fireside Chat today. Today, on Saturday morning, our guest is Teemu Harju. Welcome.
Yep, thank you.
So Teemu, you're a CTO and the co-founder of Shipyard Games. What your company does?
We're a mobile gaming studio based here in Helsinki, and we focus on making location-based games. That's kind of our core that we do.
And when did you founded your company? How many years?
The company was founded like a year and a half ago, so fairly new one. We haven't released any titles. We're really hard working on our first title and trying to get it out later this year.
And how did you came up with the idea for Shipyard Games?
It maybe goes back to even 2010. I was working in a company called Gray Area, which was kind of the I could say the first company ever to make real location-based games. It was we made a game called Shadow Cities, which got somewhat popular, and but ended up not making it big yet. Kind of maybe the highlight of that time was a New York Times article about our game that says that it will be the future of gaming, and it kind of was then later when Pokemon Go came out. And I was actually working in the same company with a few of my friends, and once we saw the success of Pokemon Go, and it kind of showed us that actually location-based games can work if they make it big enough, and it kind of set the tone for that. Hey, maybe we could try again. Those couple of friends were also working in Gray Area back in 2010, and it pretty much started from there. We thought about it a while, and then took the risk to set up our own company, and now we're there. maybe with a bit different angle, but we really believe that there is still a lot to do on that area. So, and it's very interesting and very difficult area, making games like that. But I could say the thing that triggered this was pretty much Pokemon Go.
And then what about Pokemon Go was a huge success. Was it hard or actually easier to start an own company, location-based games, after that?
Way easier. I maybe even at some point had thought that location-based games will never work, and so once Pokemon Go was so successful, it kind of proved us that. And the good thing about it is that it also taught people about location-based games, because the really difficult thing is that the players actually know that they're playing a location-based game, and since the mobile devices have GPS and that kind of stuff, even more now than back in 2010. So it's kind of many things have kind of gone better, and now it's, I think, again a good time to make location-based games.
And then what about location-based games are really specific and different. What do you do first when you want to start a location-based game? Where do you start?
Yeah, that's a good question. Currently, basically all location-based games that are out there are I would say very similar. They are based on some popular IP like Pokemon or Walking Dead. And it's pretty much about collecting stuff from the world around you. We want to do maybe something a bit different, but I guess it all starts from it has to be a good game. It's basically the location basedness. I don't think it's enough. In the core, it just needs to be a good game, and then the location-based features bring like different kind of gameplay to it. So kind of the game a bit changes as you move around. But yeah, I would say that you first need to figure out how a good game. And I think a really good approach to that is to just look at existing popular games and try to pick the best features and what could work in location-based games. And yeah.
And yeah, you're going to talk more in your seminar about location-based game, making location-based games, 5 o'clock
Yeah.
at the Artec seminars. So what is specifically location-based game? What it includes?
At least for now, I mean, those will probably evolve in future, and I hope they do. But most games evolve around a map usually. So the game scene is built around a map, and since mobile devices can give pretty accurate positioning information, the player is usually placed in this real world map around the player, and yeah, then the gameplay changes. In a good location-based games, at least it should sort of, if you go to different places, you get different experiences, and quite a lot location-based games are even a good exercise. So you maybe have to walk 10 kilometers to get some really important item in the game or stuff like that. So, but yeah, I would say current location-based games are quite similar. So pretty much finding stuff from around you, and maybe not that much focused on like game mechanics and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the sports that you can combine to location-based games are great. I remember that I have also walked 10 kilometers to get one egg hatch in the Pokemon Go.
yeah, and it's really important. I mean, you always have to think like, what is... it's kind of hard to, in a rain, 10 kilometers to get something, so that has to be something really valuable. So we also, since we don't have any this kind of popular IP that we could use in our game, so we need to think really carefully. And we also would like to make a location-based game that you can comfortably play from your couch. But also, if you move around, the experience will be a bit different. So.
And why are you interested in location-based games? What gave you the spark?
I ended up in this company called Grey Area a bit by accident, and that was kind of my introduction to let's say game companies in general, but they happened to be also making location-based games, and yeah, it was really intriguing. I was avid user of Foursquare, and Foursquare had this kind of a bit of a location-based gaminess, at least some 10 years ago or something. And yeah, it has always been really interesting. Like as you move around, there is different things to do. Obviously, the places that you move around during like a normal day is quite limited. So it's basically home and work. But still, I mean, it's really sort of interesting area of gaming.
And what is the goal you want to achieve in your company? What would be the dream location-based game, or what the location-based game would achieve itself?
Yeah, we'd like to sort of make a game that well maybe not works for everybody, but is a bit more casual. Like I said, that it probably doesn't require you to move tens of kilometers to do something or stuff like that. And kind of even the theme of the game, it's going to be a city building game, based on your real world locations. And yeah, we obviously want it to be a successful game that also would then make it possible for us to make more games in the future. But yeah.
What your work includes in your company? You're the chief technician officer. So what do you do?
Well, we're a rather small company still, so we're only 6 permanent, and out of those 6, we are like 4 coders. So basically, I code. I start at 8 and I end at 4, and between that time I code. But obviously, it involves lots of other stuff like. There's different sort of legal, technical things that I need to kind of take care of, but I would say mostly coding, because the product is what we need, and pretty much all the effort is going to that.
I could imagine that it's nice to work in a small group making a game together. Do you have a lot of meetings and collaboration?
Yeah, well, we sit in a single room office, so basically everybody is sitting next to each other in an open office, and we let's say we have one meeting per week, so not too often, but every morning we think like what's everybody doing, and if there's any problems, and if anybody needs any help in what they're doing. But we're such a tight group that it's basically like communicating all the time, and things change quite quickly. But I think that's a really good way of making. We're kind of building something that's quite unknown in a way, so we don't have a clear idea of what it will be when it's ready. So it's a good thing to work in a small team, and it's possible to change things quickly also. So everybody can basically do pretty much everything. There's obviously some stuff that people specialize, but.
And have you always known that you want to work in game industry?
Yeah, like I said, I kind of ended up accidentally in a gaming company. Before that, I used to work for like 6 years in Nokia. I graduated from telecom. Considered myself more of a coder than a game coder. But now I've been working like almost 10 years in a gaming companies, and I don't think I can ever kind of quit making games, because it's kind of something. Obviously, it's something that I know how to do and I like doing. So it wasn't kind of like a ultimate career goal of mine, kind of lucky accident. Then now I'm making games.
Have you always been interested in gaming, or?
Yeah, I played a lot, especially as a younger, when I was younger. So Commodore 64s and Amiga 500s and stuff. So I played quite a lot back then, but nowadays mostly mobile games. I kind of don't have time to play games too much, because making game consumes pretty much all of my time. So basically you have to go to the game during the day and play it during the night. So then you know how it works.
And are there some piece of work that you're really proud of? Some game that you love to make? I can imagine that the game that you're now doing is kind of a child to you.
Yeah. I guess it's the in a way the biggest thing, because I've been involved in from very start. But I would say the location-based game we did in 2010 called Shadow Cities was I was involved just as a coder in the company, but I would say it was a really nice experience, and it got some good press, and it was quite popular back then. And another mobile game I was involved in making was the Supernauts, this kind of very casual Minecraft-y building game for mobile. It also didn't end up to be a big success, but it was, I think, pretty awesome game back when we were doing it. So I guess those are the ones I've been most proud of.
And I can imagine that here are a lot of guys and girls that want to work on the game industry. Do you have any tips? How can you get in?
It's a good question. It's actually really difficult to hire good people in gaming companies still. There's obviously lots of different stuff you can do in a gaming company, like being an artist or a coder, and I would say quite many are quite a lot self-taught. So if you're really interested in, let's say, coding, internet is a really good source for stuff, and just start making games. I think it's the best, let's say, if you're in a job interview and you have games you have made yourself and you're able to show those. I think that's a really good kind of indication of what you can do, and making games is also fun, so it's kind of like a hobby. So so I think that's a really good start.
Is there something that you specifically look from coders? You told that you're yourself a coder, so is there something that you admire, or you can give tips that do this kind of coding? Or
Yeah, I think the best kind of coders kind of can do, let's say, anything. It's maybe not quite, but like, let's say, quick learners, because when you're coding something difficult, I'm pretty sure that nobody, when they're doing something for the first time, they have kind of they don't know what they're doing. So just be quick learner and interested in all sorts of stuff. Let's say not get stuck in a certain programming languages, but get to know different programming languages, like different paradigms, because that teaches you quite a lot about programming, and that there are like different ways of doing things, and some stuff works better in some specific area, and yeah, just be interest. I think interest is the biggest thing. So and interest in learning new stuff. That's the most important, because the industry or the scene is kind of changing all the time. It's quite rapid change.
Is there some rookie mistakes that you should avoid? Doing the same game over and over again, or?
Yeah, maybe. So try out different things, and yeah, maybe the rookie mistake could be that you get stuck into some small area that you're doing, kind of feel most comfortable with. You kind of always should go somewhere that it's kind of a bit. So do I know how to do this? And it's more rewarding also when you get something really difficult done and working. So I guess that's the best way to approach that.
Yes, thank you for being our guest this morning, Teemu Harju.
Thank you. This was fun.
And thank you for watching Fireside Chat this morning. And remember to go see Teemu Harju's seminar speech. It's 5 o'clock in the ArtTech seminars. And thank you for watching Fireside Chat. See you.